Hello, yes, welcome to a brand new My Team series as chosen by you guys. So a big thank you to everyone that voted. I was only expecting like 10 people to vote and we had nearly 200 at the time of recording this, which is crazy really. So thank you all for your support. Without much further ado, let's jump straight into the build of this My Team and explain what's going to happen in this series. So the first thing we need to do was come up with a team name, and with my logo being a raccoon, I thought it'd be quite cool to do something based on that, so I went for Raccoon Racing, but the word raccoon seems to be prohibited for some reason. Well, I can kind of guess why, but yeah, fair enough. So the next thing I thought of is trying to stick along those sort of lines. The only thing I could really come up with was Rocket Racing because of Rocket the Raccoon from the Marvel universe, basically, in all the films. So yeah, that's why it's called Rocket Racing. If you have any suggestions for a better team name, then yeah, let me know in the comments below. Next we had to choose a sponsor, and we went with Slingshot Fuel because why not, I guess. And then we had to move on to choosing an engine. And if you've seen the video I do about what's the best to start an engine, I actually suggest that Renault was the best one, so that's why I've chosen Renault for this one. And then it's a similar sort of scenario with my teammate, who I've chosen Nobuharu Masushita because of the video I did recently about which is the best rookie driver to sign, and he ultimately came out on top, so that's why we've gone for Masushita. As you can see there, at the end of that, we're only left with 100,000, which is not great, but I'm very happy with the team setup. So we're going to go with 10 races per season. Now, my thinking behind this was that with less races, the championship should be a lot tighter, and if you have a few bad races, you could be way down in the championship. So each race is that much more valuable, which is quite a cool thing and should make it quite exciting. The other reason was that it means that there's more frequent driver transfers, the car development will happen quicker hopefully, and just things like regulation changes should have a bigger impact, which overall should just make for a more exciting series. The weekend structure will consist of 3 qualifying sessions, so the full qualifying. We won't do a formation lap, but we will do 50% race distance, and we will be racing against 100% AI. We may change that a little bit depending on how well we're doing, because I'm still not quite sure what level I should race against. Doing Will Buxton's starting interview. Like the other videos I've done, I've also done a video on this, so I kind of know how to get the best car, and the way how I tried to do it was just trying to give each department something. So as we will see in a second, we managed to get spec 1 on the power unit, we managed to get 3 durability parts, we managed to get 2 chassis parts, and then a single aerodynamic part, which hopefully should just give us a nice round balanced car to start with, hopefully. The other thing to notice is that I actually decided to go ahead and spend some R&D points from the off on the rear end of the car in the aerodynamics, just because I prefer to have quite a stable rear end of the car so it doesn't spin out too much. So that's why I've initially done that as the R&D to start with. And that pretty much brings us back to where we started the video. But before we move on and do the car reveal, etc., I just want to explain how the videos are going to work. So I'm going to split this race weekend, or every weekend, sorry, into 2 separate videos. So the first video will be similar to this one, which will be just explaining everything that happens at the factory before the races, any developments that happen, and then we'll go straight into the full qualifying. And then the next day will be the second video, which will just be the race. So if you just want to watch the race, you can just watch the second part, and if you want to watch the whole weekend, you can watch both videos over the 2 days. I did this on my previous My Team, and I feel like that worked quite well, as it just broke it up a little bit so you're not sitting there for ages just watching one long episode. Instead, it should just be 2 slightly shorter episodes. Right, with that out the way, let's go ahead and look at the car for the 2020 season. Yes. Charles Booth absolutely loves it. And to be fair, I really like it too. That bluey green or turquoise, whatever we want to call it, is really nice, I think. So yeah, that's worked out really well. Very happy. So we also managed to have enough R&D points to spend on the power unit. So we increased the ignition system, and hopefully that comes just after our first race of the season at Bahrain. Yeah, I forgot to explain. The 10 races that we're actually doing for this first season, because we're not doing all of them, are Bahrain, Netherlands, Monaco, Canada, Austria, Great Britain, Belgium, Italy, Japan, and then the season finale, as it should be in my view, at Brazil. And as you can see, just before we head off to the race weekend, we did manage to get that rear aerodynamic upgrade on the car, so very good. And that pretty much wraps up everything at the factory, so let's head to the Bahrain Grand Prix. Yes, I also forgot about that just before we get to the Bahrain Grand Prix. I also forgot to tell you that we are actually going to sim every single practice session in this series as well. One, I can't be bothered to do it, and two, it just means that it kind of limits the amount of resource points we can get per weekend, because you can develop the cars crazy quick on this, so hopefully it just reins it in and it'll be more competitive with the other teams that way. But yeah, let's head to qualifying. Well, hey, so here we are in our brand new car at qualifying. Just checking the track temperatures. It's definitely not going to rain in Bahrain. I don't think it ever does, but it probably does, but very unlikely. Just checking we've got the softs on. And also, oh yeah, the custom setup. So I will be running a custom setup, but I might not show it in each video, but I will have it in the description of the video below. So if you ever want to check that out, it'll be there. And with all of that, we are going to head out onto the track for the first time. Let's see what this car's got. Okay, so coming to the end of the first flying lap now. Not a bad lap, but then we go far too wide on the last corner and end up losing a lot of time there. So where is this going to put us? We cross the line and do a 1:27.7 and go third currently, but barely anyone's been round. So as you can see there, after everyone has been round, we actually end up in 15th, which isn't actually too bad. As you can see, our teammate is down in 20th there. And yeah, so we got about 7/10 of a second to Magnussen in 17th, who obviously that will be the first cut-off zone. So yeah, I think we might be okay, but we definitely need to put in a better lap just to make sure that we're definitely safe. And here we are for our final run in Q1. So we've got just over 30 seconds left of the session. We're still currently 15th. But yeah, we want to get as best lap time as we can just to make sure we definitely get into Q2, which would be pretty good going, I think. Down to first corner, second gear. Try not to lose traction here. Cut that a little bit, which is fine. And we're up about a 10th already. So not too bad to start with. Just got to make sure we get our braking point right, as I think we do. Yes, so we're not going too far wide like a certain Lewis Hamilton over the last weekend at Bahrain. A little bit slow through there, probably could have gone a bit quicker. Again down to gear 2. Have a little bit of a moment, no not really. Thought because we went wide on the curb there we might slip a little bit there. Down to turn 10, very difficult corner in this game. But it seems to be alright. Traction out well. Still only up a 10th though, so this might be quite close. But the checker flag has gone. And by the looks of it, I think we'll actually be okay. Although we go very wide there and lose some time. Because, yeah, I think we're okay actually. Because everyone on the minimap there is finished. So, yeah, not too much to worry about this. Let's just see if we can finish the last sector strongly though. Still currently down, but we should make up some time on the final corner as we messed that up the first time. And that is a better line, though we took a little bit too much from the inside, but much better line, up a 10th, and cross the line, and that should be us through to Q2. As it is. Yeah, so there, as you can see, that's the stand-ins. Nobuharu came in 20th and was over a second slower than us, so that's quite a lot. But yeah, through in 15th by about 800ths of a second, so yeah, can't complain too much about that. Let's head to Q2. So in Q2, obviously I used 2 sets of softs for the first run. So basically I don't want to use a brand new set of softs for my first lap time, so we're going out on some used set of softs, and again on the first lap, on the first flying lap, we've gone wide, which is very annoying as that's going to put us way down. Yep, so we're 15th, so it's going to be a bit of a mammoth task to see if we can get out of Q2 and into the final shootout. So this time we're going to put on a brand new set of softs, and that should give us around 0.7 of a second a lap, apparently. So that would put us bang in, or right on, Carlos Sainz and Pierre Gasly, who are 9th and 10th. So if we have a good lap, we might be within a shout here, which would be a great result. Okay, so last lap in Q2, we have loads of space ahead of us, which is good. Come on, Jumbo, let's make this one happen. So as we're coming down the main straight, just got to make sure we hit our braking point. As we do, we're already up quite a lot there. Not the best traction out of the corner, bobbed down a little bit as I was short shifting, trying to make sure I don't spin the car. Coming up to turn 4. Oh, we've gone a little bit wide there, missed the apex. We are going to lose some time, so we've lost all the time that we gained pretty much. Down to gear 5, that's better through the tight and twisty bit. Down to turn 9, I believe. Better, a little bit of a moment there though, not great. Up 0.3, we need a bit more than that. Hopefully have a good turn 10. Very good turn 10, get the traction out and away we go. 0.4, we need more than this, come on. Try not to go wide this time. We seem okay. Very easy to clip the inside of this curb and spin that out, which we don't do, which is good. Down to gear 3 for the extra rotation. Up 0.7 of a second now. Or just under, sorry. As we come down the penultimate straight. Again, braking point. Make sure we don't run wide. Take too much curb on the inside, but it doesn't affect us too much. Up 0.8 as we're going to cross the line. Where is that going to put us? It's going to be close, I think. P10. We just snuck in. Unbelievable there. So there we are. Whoa, look at that. We just knocked out Lando by 0.03 of a second. But more surprisingly is Valtteri Bottas is P12 on the medium tyres. Why did he do that? He obviously felt confident enough that we weren't going to improve, obviously, and yeah, we've knocked him out as well. Silly Valtteri. But yeah, Q3, great. Okay, so again, I didn't want to use the brand new set of softs from the off, but I made a bit of a mistake, and I actually went out on my race tyre because of Q2, the tyre you qualify on is the tyre you start the race on. So yeah, big idiot there, and it wasn't even a great lap. As you can see, we crossed the line and go 5th or bottom at the moment, and we're down by, what was that, 1.5? But actually, when everyone's done their first lap, bar Carlos Sainz, we are 2 seconds off the pace. So yeah, what an idiot. Silly. So silly.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
Yeah, it wasn't a great lap, so hopefully we can improve a little bit on it. And this is our final run in qualifying. Hopefully we can do something, but if we qualify 10th, that's still a very good achievement. So yeah, as you can see, Sainz has done his lap, so we are now 10th. Hopefully we can do a bit better, we shall see. Gone very wide in the first corner, but better traction out of it, and we're up 0.2. DRS is wide open as we come down to turn 4. Better on turn 4, though not great. We could definitely get more time out of there. Didn't go down to gear 5, so definitely a bit slower through there. Got a slightly different camera view there, which is nice. I need to do more of that really. And then coming up to the notorious turn 10, up 0.7. or a bit more than that, nearly a second now. So definitely a much better lap so far. Got to make sure we don't run wide, as we have a tendency to do here. Nicely done, nicely done. Again, don't clip the inside here as that will spin us out. Giving that plenty of room. We're up massively, 1.2 seconds. Again, gear 3 just gives us that extra rotation, which is nice as it gets us pointing straight. Up 1.3 seconds, so this is a blinding lap. Into the final corner we come. Again, gear 3 extra rotation, power down, 1.4 seconds. This is going to be quite a good lap. And over the line, where are we going to come? P8, great lap, absolutely amazing. So yeah, that was much better than I thought we would do. And yeah, as you can see, Lewis got pole, Seb was second, Checo Perez was third in the Racing Point, which is a great time. Bear in mind, Alex and Max, and even Charles Leclerc are 3, 4 and 5 and 6. Sorry, not 3, 4, 4, 5 and 6. Ricciardo 7th, who I think is just a little bit out of touch for us. And then Lance Stroll had a bit of a mare by the looks of it, as did Carlos Sainz, because I think they're both quicker than us. So yeah, that wraps up this first episode. We had a great qualifying, could not believe it. I was not expecting that. I thought we'd struggle to get into Q3. And to be fair, the McLaren of Lando and the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas probably should have been in here. So the race tomorrow is definitely going to be a bit tricky for us, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, yeah, that's going to wrap this one up. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then smash that like button, and if you want to see more content like this, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Alrighty then, I've been Jumbo, and I will see you for the race tomorrow.